Hello, welcome to Biology, the science study of life. 29, plant diversity 1, how plants colonized land. The greening of earth, looking at a lush landscape such as the forest scene in this figure. Notice that it is difficult to imagine the land without any plants or other organisms. Yet for more than the first 3 billion years of Earth's history, the interstellar surface was lifeless. Geochemical evidence suggests that thin coatings of cyanobacteria existed on land about 1,2 billion years ago, but it was only about 500 million years ago that plants, fungi, and animals joined them shore. In this chapter, we will focus on land plants and how they evolved from aquatic green algae, although some plants during their evolution. Most plants live in terrestrial environments, therefore we will refer to all plants as land plants, even though they are now aquatic, to distinguish them from algae, which are photosynthetic protists. Since colonized land plants have diversified into roughly 290,000 living species inhabiting all but the harshest environments, such as some mountain tops and some desert and polar regions. The presence of plants has enabled other life forms, including humans, to survive on land. Plant roots have created habitats for other organisms by stabilizing landscapes. More than or more importantly, plants supply oxygen and are the ultimate provider of most of the food eaten by land animals. More about land plants. Land plants evolved from green algae. As researchers have identified the green algae called carophyceans as the closest relatives of land plants. Here we will examine, notice this figure, the evidence of this relationship and consider that it suggests about how the algal ancestors of land plants might have been well suited to make the move to land. Morphological and biochemical evidence. Many key characteristics of land plants also appear in a variety of protists, primarily algae. For example, plants are multicellular, eukaryotic, photosynthetic, autotrophs, as are brown, red, and certain green algae. Plants have cell walls made of cellulose, and so do green algae. Dinoflagellates are present in green algae, euglens, and a few dinoflagellates, as well as in plants. There are 4 key traits, however, that land plants share only with the carophyceans, strongly suggesting a close relationship between the two groups. 1. Rose-shaped complexes for cellulose synthesis. The cells of both land plants and carophyceans have rosette cellulose synthesizing complexes. There are rose-shaped arrays of proteins in the plasma membrane that synthesize the cellulose microfibrils of the cell walls. Notice this figure, et voila. In contrast, linear arrays of proteins synthesize cellulose in non-carophyceans algae. Also, the cell walls of plants and carophyceans contain a higher percentage of cellulose than the cell walls of non-carophyceans or phyceans algae. These differences indicate that the cellulose walls in the plants and carophyceans evolved independently of those in other algae. Peroxism enzymes. The peroxism, notice that, of both land plants and carophyceans contain enzymes that help minimize the loss of organic products as a result of photorespiration. The paroxysm or of other algae lack these enzymes. Structure of flagellated sperm in species of land plants that have flagellated sperm. The structure of the sperm closely resembles that of Carophyceans sperm. Formation of phragmoplasts. Certain details of cell division occur only in land plants, and certain Carophyceans, including the genera Cara and Coleochirus. For example, the synthesis of new cross walls, cell plates during cell division involves the formation of a phragmoplast and alignment of cytoskeletal elements and Golgi-derived vessels across the midline of the dividing cell. Notice this figure. Genetic evidence over the past decade. Researchers evolved in an international initiative called Deep Green have conducted a large-scale study of major transitions in plant evolution, analyzing genes from a wide range of plant and algae species. Comparisons of both nuclear and chloroplast genes agree with the morphological and biochemical data in pointing to Carophyceans, particularly Cara and Coleochirus, as the closest living relatives of land plants. Notice this figure. Note that this does not mean that these living algae are the ancestors of plants. However, they do offer a glimpse of what those ancestors might have been like. Adaptations of enabling the move to land. Many species of Carophyceans algae inhabit shallow waters around the edge of ponds and lakes. Where they are subject to occasional drying. In such environments, nature selection favors individual algae that can survive periods when they are not submerged in water. In Carophyceans, a layer of durable polymer called spore pollen prevents exposed zygotes from drying out. An ancestral of this chemical adaptation may have also been the precursor to the tough spore pollen walls that encase plant spores. It is likely that the accumulation of such trees by at least one population of Carophyceans or ancestors enable their descendants, the first land plants, to live permanently above the water line. These evolutionary novelettes opened an expanse of terrestrial habitats, a new frontier that offered enormous benefits. The bright sunlight was unfiltered by water and plankton. The atmosphere had an abundance of CO2. The soil was rich in mineral nutrients, and initially there were relatively few herbivores and pathogens. Benefiting from these environmental opportunities became possible as adaptations evolved in plants that allow them to survive and reproduce on land.